Okay, so our first step in the construction is to make our quarter square triangles, which you have a skill sheet for. But I'm going to take you through the process. So the first step is to place the fabrics right sides together. Okay? Then you're going to draw a line on both diagonals. And when we talk about a diagonal, we're talking about from point to point. And the way I do that is I just lay my ruler down and make sure I'm dissecting both points and draw the line. Then when I come back and do it this way, I want to make sure that a horizontal line on my ruler is on that line I drew, and I'm dissecting the 2 points, and I draw the second line. Okay? Perfect, right? Now it says to stitch a 1/4 inch on each side of one of the diagonals. So this is my diagonal. I've got this 1/4 inch seam on each side. Now I'm going to take this, and I first am going to cut on the non-sewn line, which goes across the diagonals, and I look to make sure one of my horizontal lines is on one of those lines, and I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to cut these apart. Okay, and I like to make sure my horizontal line is there and I'm perpendicular there, and I'm going to cut. So I have 2 there, and I have 2 here. Now this is where we get the name quarter square from, because I had a square and I have 4 parts. Now we are going to press these towards the darker color. So if I open, what I like to do is if I put the darker color on top and I open this, I can take my iron and I can just put the iron down on the seam without moving it around, just to set the seam, because this edge is very stretchy. It's called bias, meaning it stretches. So I don't want to put, you're not ironing at this point, you're just putting your putting your iron down. And if you look, I'm going to have, when I open these up, I'm going to have 2 with the color on the right and 2 with the color on the left. And that's, excuse me, like this, so that you can see them. Okay? So what we have to do, and I have 4 of them, move these up and put this one here. What we have to do now is we're going to take these and make sure we face them so that the colors are opposite. This is what we call an hourglass block. We flip it over and we make sure those seams are nested right next to each other. I like to pin, and then we are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam right here.